Hey guys, what is up? It's TotalXclipse here, and today I thought I'd do a review on my new 700D, Canon 700D, which is my new vlogging camera, which is actually what's being used to film right now, and I am using a white light here just to improve the quality a bit. So if you're wondering why your 700D might not look quite like this, it's probably that, and the lens, which is the 40mm STM lens, which is great, but I'll talk about that in a bit. So for this review, I'm mainly going to talk about why I chose this camera for video logging, but I will also touch on photography, but I'm not a DSLR technologically minded person. I'm very much the beginner going into the intermediate amateur to intermediate range. So I will talk on that. I will show you some pictures that I've taken, as well as show you some test footage for the video logs. You can also use this one as well, although I am using my Blue Yeti to record the sound. So first off, I did quite a lot of researching. So I wanted a camera that was both relatively budget orientated, but also was able to film very good 1080p HD quality videos without any problems, which I have had in the past with cheaper cameras, which I'll talk about in a little bit as well. Now, because I rarely move when I'm vlogging, I didn't need to go with a video camera, and also because I wanted to take stills, I wanted a DSLR in specific. Now, because I'm vlogging off a DSLR, the big thing is I'm not able to see what I'm filming, so it could be out of focus, I could have problems. So I wanted a camera such as the 700D, which had a flip out screen, and that has been a brilliant help. For example, I can look at that right now. I know it's off to the side, but I can see that I'm pretty much in focus, bar maybe a few millimeters, and everything looks right on screen, bar my monitor, which is the first time it's done that. I think it's either because of the distance or possibly the angle that it's looking at. I'm sorry about that flickering, it's a bit annoying. Also, I wanted to go for a camera that was relatively easy to use for someone like an amateur like myself. So I could just pick up and use it straight away, and I was also looking for something that was relatively cheap in terms of DSLRs, because they can be very expensive. You're talking up to thousands of pounds for a camera, which is ridiculous, especially if you're vlogging. You don't want to spend over 700 quid, which is why I came to actually looking at the 700D. Now, this camera I actually found for about £270. I think it was actually £270 just for the body, and then I also bought a lens separately, which is the 40mm STM lens. It's great, I love it. It's relatively silent when it's autofocusing. At the moment I have it on manual focus because if I do this, it can be a bit annoying. The autofocus is pretty good as well as silent, like I just mentioned, but I don't want it flickering in and out during the film. Now, the 40mm STM lens cost me about 80 quid. I think, yeah, the whole set cost me £350, and I think online you can find the kit lens, which is the 18mm to 55mm lens with the body for about £370, so I did pretty well. Obviously I've sacrificed the zoom, and the big problem about this is I'm having to film about 3 meters away, 2.5, 3 meters, just to get this whole frame of me in it with a bit of background, which is something that I should have looked a bit more in depth before getting the lens, but to be honest, I am happy with it. I'm having a great time, love actually this kind of setup. Now, because I want to also use it for portable vlogging at some point, I'm going to also look at either the 10 to 18mm STM lens or the 10 to 20mm STM lens. Now, some other things that I liked about the 700D and why I've chosen it is it's relatively lightweight. It comes in about 600 grams. I think it's just under 580 with the kit lens. It's also rather sleek and stylish, I'd argue, and though that doesn't matter at all when you're vlogging, it really does. I don't want to be carrying this massive thing around in front of me with people looking weirdly at me. So now I'm going to give you some test footage of the Canon 700D using the 40mm STM. Hey guys, so this is the 40mm lens. As you can see, this is arm's length away, and it is like still really close. You need like a 20mm or even a 10mm would be even better. Look at this. There we go. And if you listen to this audio, bit echoey in here, you get a general sense of the audio file. And thankfully, if you look at my lips as I'm talking, you can see if it's in sync or out of sync. I've not had any problems with this one. A big thing that I was worried about actually was some cameras, such as my Nikon Coolpix S7000, when you're recording for, I think it's 12 minutes or 15 minutes, it automatically shuts down. I didn't have this problem once with the Canon during the test shoot, or even vlogging now. Whether for longer videos that's a problem, I've yet to find out. Another thing in regards to the Canon 700D is I haven't had any audio-visual sync problems, and again with the Nikon Coolpix S7000 I did have a few videos where the audio was out of sync of the actual video. Now I hear you guys saying, wait a minute, we want a vlogging camera that we can use portably, and as I mentioned earlier, all you need with the 700D to make it portable is going to be a shorter range lens than the one I have. So like I mentioned before, look at the 10 to 20mm or the 10 to 18mm wide angle lenses that are also STM. And then I'd also consider taking a GorillaPod grip so that you can actually hold it further away and just have it facing you. And the other thing I would highly recommend is a Rode mic. Now they're very good mics and they're quite affordable. It really boosts your audio files, and you can attach them just to the top of the camera where there's a mounting point. So if that's what you're looking for, definitely consider going down that route with the 700D. Now onto photography. Now as you can see here, I've got some test shoots. The auto mode works brilliantly. I actually use the manual mode. I may not be that much technologically into the DSLRs, but I know my basics around the ISO and focus. So I do play around with that. For these images I did use manual, and as you can see they came out pretty well, especially closer objects seem to work much better with the 40mm lens. And I'm honestly astounded at how well these photographs have came out. I mean, there's one or two which are a bit too dark for my liking, such as my cat on the window. These are just the basic photos. You can actually do a very quick editing of them on the actual camera using the Creative Suite tools that they have. And as you can see, I've used it here, and I think it's really brought out the colours of the photo. Really nice way to add a bit more depth to your photography, and it does look pretty good even though I'm an amateur. So whether you're just an amateur wanting to dabble in photography, or you want to be a vlogger and you want a DSLR that's actually going to treat you well when it comes to actually making video files, then I highly recommend the 700D. I have not had one fault with it yet. Touch wood, I won't find any. Obviously you can go for more expensive options, but I must admit for the money this is brilliant brilliant value. Anyway, that's all we have time for in this video. If you did find this video helpful, please like it. If you want to see more gaming videos, which is what I tend to do on this channel, then please subscribe. And if you do have any questions whatsoever about the Canon, feel free to shoot them over in the comment section below. I will try to get back to you. I might not be 100% on the more technical aspects of the camera, but certainly if I can help you out, I will. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.